All right, let's settle this once and for all. It's the debate you hear in every single gym on every single leg day. Squats versus the leg press. Which one is the real king when it comes to building massive legs? Well, today we're going to let science give us the final answer.
You know the feeling. You're standing there planning your workout and you wonder, should I get under that heavy barbell for some raw, gritty squats? Or should I load up the leg press until it begs for mercy? We're about to put them head-to-head to find out which one truly deserves the top spot in your routine.
So let's meet our fighters. In this corner, you've got the barbell squat, the undisputed king of exercises, famous for building raw, functional strength and athletic power. And in the other corner, we have the mass monster itself, the leg press, known for pure muscle isolation and letting you move some seriously heavy weight.
Let's kick things off with round one, the quad quests. I mean, let's be real. This is why most of us are even doing these exercises, right? We want that impressive quad sweep. But, as you're about to see, building your quads is a little more complicated than you might think.
Okay, so check this out. We've got some very recent data, and it is fascinating. When we're talking about the vastus lateralis, that's the outer part of your quad that gives you that awesome teardrop look, squats pull ahead. We're looking at an 18.2% growth from squats compared to 11.2% from the leg press. That is a huge win for squats right out of the gate.
But here's where things get weird. You ever feel like that main muscle running right down the middle of your thigh just refuses to grow no matter how hard you squat? Well, you're not crazy. It's because of something called Lombard's paradox. See, that muscle, the rectus femoris, is being pulled in two different directions at once, so it never really gets a good stretch or a good squeeze, which means it barely gets a signal to grow.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's kind of crazy, but neither squats nor leg presses are actually very good for building that big central part of your quad. The science is super clear on this. If you really want to max out your quad development, you have to add in leg extensions. That's the missing piece that can tack on an extra 11 to 17% growth.
All right, moving on. Round two is all about the glutes. And when it comes to building your glutes with these lifts, there is one thing that matters more than the weight, more than the reps. It's how deep you go. And this slide just screams it from the rooftops. Look at this study from 2019. The people who went all the way down in their squats, full range of motion, saw almost 7% glute growth. The people who cut their squats high, a measly 2%. That's not just a little better, that's nearly 3 times the growth. If you want glutes, you've got to squat deep, period. So yeah, there's really no debate on this one. Based on that evidence, we have to give this round, clean, to the full-depth barbell squat. It is the undisputed champion for glute development, no question about it.
Okay, so bigger legs are great, but what about the stuff that really matters outside the gym? We're talking about performance, how tired you get, and most importantly, staying safe and injury-free. Let's look beyond just the muscle.
This is a super important question, right? It's one thing to look strong, but can you actually use that strength? Can you jump higher, run faster, be more explosive? How do our two contenders actually translate to real-world athletic performance?
Well, a 2016 study gave us a pretty shocking answer. After just 8 weeks, the group that was squatting saw their vertical jump increase by a jaw-dropping 12%. That is a massive boost in explosive power. So what about the other guys?
The leg press group, they increased their vertical jump by just 0.5%. That's not a typo. The difference is absolutely staggering. It shows that squats build true functional athleticism in a way the leg press just can't touch.
Now let's talk about that post-leg day feeling. You know, when you can't walk right for 3 days? Well, it turns out not all tired is the same. Squats create a ton of central nervous system fatigue. It's mentally draining. The leg press, on the other hand, just fries the muscle itself. Your legs will be on fire, but you'll probably feel ready to go again sooner.
And this brings us to a huge factor, safety. For anyone who's ever felt that little tweak in their lower back during squats, this is for you. The research actually calls the leg press a sanctuary because it takes your spine out of the equation. It lets you absolutely hammer your legs with heavy weight without putting your back at risk.
So we've looked at quads, glutes, athletic power, and safety. We've seen both exercises land some major punches. It is time for the final verdict, and I'm telling you right now, it is not what you're expecting.
After all the evidence, all the data, all the rounds, who takes home the crown? Is it the squat or is it the leg press?
The science-backed answer is, it's a tie. There is no single winner. But wait, don't click away.
because this is honestly the best possible news you could get for your leg growth. Understanding that they aren't enemies, but instead are two different tools for two different jobs. That is the secret to unlocking some serious gains. It's not about choosing one, it's about knowing how to use both.
So let's stop thinking either or and start thinking yes and. We're going to take everything we just learned and build the perfect science-backed leg day that uses the strengths of both of these amazing exercises.
Okay, here it is, your roadmap to monster legs. Step 1. You always start with squats when you're fresh. This builds your athletic strength and absolutely hammers those deep glute fibers. Step 2. You move over to the leg press. Now you can pile on the volume and get that muscle-building pump without your lower back giving out. And finally, step 3, you finish them off with leg extensions to target that stubborn middle quad muscle that the other two lifts missed.
So let's recap the mission briefing real quick. Squats are the king for building athletes and hitting your glutes hard. The leg press is your secret weapon for adding tons of safe volume. And to get those fully developed quads, you absolutely need an isolation move. The best plan doesn't choose, it combines.
The debate is officially over. The science has spoken. And now, the power is in your hands. So the real question is, armed with all this knowledge, what are you going to change on your next leg day to build your biggest, strongest legs ever?
Hey, if this breakdown helped clear things up for you, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next fitness deep dive. Let me know in the comments how you're going to use both of these lifts from now on. Thanks for watching.